In this video series, I'm going to share with you 7 unique ways that top salespeople think. They don't think like the average salesperson. They think differently, and by doing so, they're able to achieve uncommon success. Listen to these tips, think about them for yourself, and apply them as you can to start shifting the way you think, and you'll start creating more momentum and growth in your sales numbers. Idea number 1 with the way top salespeople think is growth mindset. The idea of growth mindset was popularized by the book Mindset, which was written by Carol Dweck. If you haven't read Mindset yet, go and get the book and read it and learn all about growth mindset. This is so important to success. Top salespeople are not worried about encountering problems. They don't let challenges derail them. And this is really important. They don't let failure stop them because they're embarrassed or they don't like looking like they don't have the answer in front of other people. Fixed mindset people, on the other hand, when they encounter difficulty, they shrink and pull away from it, and especially if it's in front of other people or it's something that they haven't been good at in the past. Well, as salespeople, we frequently encounter problems that are new and unique. We have to apply a different approach. You've heard the saying, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. Well, growth mindset doesn't keep doing what you've been doing. You apply new approaches, you experiment, and you apply more effort until you get better results. And most importantly, the results that you're seeking. So when top salespeople apply growth mindset, it propels them to new heights of success and achievement. If you're finding that you get derailed by challenges and problems that you encounter regularly in your work, you just might not be applying growth mindset. And this is idea number 1. Idea number 2 in the way top salespeople think is they focus on long-term relationships. There is a short-term mentality to sales. I want to make my numbers. I need to get one more sale. I want to push this person so that I can get that deal closed and make my number. And then once we have that sale, we move on to the next sale. The problem with that is we're replacing old sales with new sales and our numbers don't grow, they just stay stagnant. Top salespeople think a little differently. They know that to maintain sales growth, they need to retain the customers that they have. They focus on long-term relationships. They don't just think about this sale. They think about the next sale and the one after that, and the cross sales and the up sales and the referrals that can come from satisfied customers that like them as a person and actually want to have a relationship with their salesperson who becomes more like a trusted advisor. When you're thinking long-term relationship, you treat people differently. You will respond better to the email. You will respond better to problems that are posed to you by the customer or prospect because you know that this is a problem that if you solve, it will help develop the relationship. You don't start thinking badly about people and avoiding certain people that are difficult to deal with. You maintain your customers, you nurture relationships, and by doing so, you grow your bottom line. You keep adding new business to the old business and you do better and better. So what about you? Are you focused on short-term relationships primarily and you just keep going after new sales and old sales are going out the back door? Stop thinking that way and start thinking like top salespeople and focus on long-term relationships. Idea number 3 is be humble. Top salespeople, believe it or not, are actually humble. They don't believe they walk on water and they don't think the world revolves around them. They accept success as a byproduct of diligent effort, hard work, and the quality of relationships that they've fostered. They don't take all the credit. They actually seek to spread around the credit to their team, and they appreciate the efforts of others to help them be successful. They never believe that all the success they have has come from their own work. Humility is something that is difficult to just turn on. It's more of a way of being. It's a way of thinking that is manifested in the way you behave and the way you act with other people. I've encountered so many arrogant salespeople over my long career, and I always think, boy, they could be so much more successful if they appreciated relationships and all that other people do to help them be successful. If you'd really like to reach the top ranks and stay there and be the type of person that people want to do business with and have a relationship with, be humble. There are books on humility that you can read. There are people that you can study and follow. Great leaders who are humble. Think Mahatma Gandhi. Think Martin Luther King. These people were very successful, and yet they credited others for their success. Idea number 4 is they are committed to development. Primarily professional development, but also personal development. Because top salespeople are never satisfied with where they are in life. They always believe that they can be better, that there's a new height to scale. And they don't believe that everything comes from within. Remember, they're humble and they have a growth mindset. And what that means is they're willing to seek resources outside of themselves. They take courses, they read books, they go to conferences. They tap into the minds of their peers, their managers and leaders. And they're always looking for a new idea, a new approach, a new way of doing things that could make them a little bit better. And as I mentioned, it's not just professional development, but it's personal development too. How can they grow in their personal lives? Because oftentimes, when we're more satisfied with our personal life, that carries over to our professional life. When we have great relationships personally, it makes us happier as a salesperson. We feel more confident. We feel more energized. And so what about you? Have you read books lately? Have you taken courses? Have you attended conferences? These are all ways to continue to grow professionally and personally. And when you get into a virtuous cycle like that, you start thinking like top salespeople, and you're always getting to the next level year after year. That's idea number 4. Idea number 5 is they're curious. You know, top salespeople are curious just by nature. They love to learn, but not just learn in ways that they can do better. They love to learn from their customers. They know that their customers hold all the answers as to what their problems are and how they can be solved. They're curious by asking lots of questions. They're also curious to get to know their prospects and customers on a personal level. They want to know about their families, their hobbies, their pursuits, their goals. When we're naturally curious, we're interested in the other person. And when we're humble, we're also interested in the other person. We don't believe that we're the most interesting person in the room or the smartest person in the room. When we're curious, we're just an open book, ready to learn and grow through conversations and by asking good questions. They're also curious about how they can do better. They're curious about their competition. They're curious about the companies that they do business with or compete against. Just be curious by nature. Always be thinking about ways that you could learn new information, and then you'll be following idea number 5 in the way top salespeople think. Idea number 6 in the way top salespeople think is they don't sell. No, they actually solve problems. Top salespeople don't think of the work that they do as selling. They look at it as solving problems for most valued customers. You know, that's really what we do in life in just about any capacity is we solve problems. Whether we're a manager, or a manufacturer, or a salesperson, we're solving problems that people have. And when you're focused on long-term relationships, you're humble, you have the growth mindset, and you don't think of what you're doing as selling but actually solving problems, you come at the situation in a totally different way. The person that you're trying to build a relationship with, to actually sell to, is thinking that you're not there just to make money. You're not there to make a sale and move on, but you're there to actually help them and their company to solve hard problems that have been plaguing them for a long time. And these are problems that can really make a change in their company and how things operate there. So when you think of yourself as a problem solver and you apply curiosity, you can really go far. So think this way as opposed to seeing yourself as a salesperson. Idea number 7, they aren't lone wolves. The art of sales is sometimes looked at as an individual profession, that we act alone as salespeople. But the truth is, it's not the case. Top salespeople are so because of the contributions of others. People in other departments are constantly supporting and helping salespeople to make sales. And imagine this, that one day you might not be a salesperson, you might be a sales manager. You might move into leadership in a different capacity. It's not unusual for top salespeople in an organization to also own the marketing process, or for salespeople to become CEO one day. If you act as a lone wolf and you don't focus on relationships with those people in other departments that are contributing to a company's operations, then you might not be the person that's chosen to become a leader of others within the company because you always act alone. Top salespeople see the future and they see new opportunities and they're ready for them by not acting as if they're an individual contributor all the time. So this is a different way to think than you might be thinking right now. But start thinking long term and you just might find yourself moving into greater roles in your company. That's idea number 7. Don't be a lone wolf. Now you've watched this series of videos on how top salespeople think. By applying these different ideas to your thought process, you could find yourself developing new momentum and growth in your sales numbers. If you'd really like to accelerate the process, consider working with me as your sales coach. Learn more about me and my services at buildandbalance.com.